السلام علیکم ناظرین، آپ دیکھ رہے ہیں پروگرامز پر ایڈوائس اور میں ہوں آپ کا ہوسٹ شکیل احمد۔ ناظرین، کینیڈا دنیا کے تمام انٹرنیشنل اسٹوڈنٹس کے لیے ایک بہت ہی ہاٹ اور فیوریٹ ہائر ایجوکیشن ڈیسٹینیشن سمجھی جاتی ہے۔ کینیڈا میں پوری دنیا سے لوگ، پوری دنیا سے طالب علم اپنی ہائر ایجوکیشن کے لیے جاتے ہیں۔ آج ہم اسٹڈی ان کینیڈا کے بارے میں ڈسکس کریں گے اور یہ ایکسپلور کریں گے کہ کرنٹ پینڈیمک کی وجہ سے، کرنٹ سچویشن کی وجہ سے کینیڈین یونیورسٹیز کس طریقے سے پلان کر رہی ہیں، اور جو ہمارے اسٹوڈنٹس آلریڈی کینیڈا کے اندر مختلف کیمپسز کے اندر پڑھ رہے ہیں ان کو یونیورسٹیز کس طریقے سے فیسیلیٹیٹ کر رہی ہیں، اور آنے والے وقت کے اندر پاکستانی اسٹوڈنٹس کے لیے کینیڈا میں پڑھنے کے کیا آپشنز ہیں۔ تو آج ہمارے ساتھ موجود ہیں کینیڈا سے مسٹر اینتھنی، جو فریزر انٹرنیشنل کالج کو ریپرزینٹ کرتے ہیں۔ آئیے ان سے ڈسکس کرتے ہیں۔ Anthony, thank you very much to join us here for our program Expert Advice. We are much obliged that you have given us your crucial time from Canada. So please tell us, first of all, something about the current situation that's going on there in Canada, in your country, please.
Fantastic. Now more than ever, I'm actually really excited to be a Canadian citizen. The Canadian government is working very hard. They're being logical and transparent, and I really respect that. In fact, every single morning, there is always a briefing with different updates on the current situation across Canada and what the government is doing, whether it's related to specifically health concerns, to the economy, to make sure that every single citizen understands what is going on and what our part is in the broader scheme of things.
That's great. I'll ask Anthony that how the resident or the citizen of Canada are behaving with the instructions given by the government. I'm sure that won't be as there in US, that you can see another side people are observing the instruction given by the government. On other side there are protesters as well. But what about the situation there in Canada? Everybody is following the precautionary measures given by the government?
I think within Canada, by and large, one thing that we really respect is our neighbors. Whether they're our friends, whether they're our family, whether they're complete strangers, we always look to our neighbors as part of our community.
That's
and
great.
So whether it's in a big city like Vancouver or one of the smaller cities scattered across Canada, we really do take concern for our neighbors, and following the direction and those policies from the Canadian government plays a big role in looking after our friends and families. So I think by and large, we do see a lot of the population understanding how important it is to self-isolate and carrying out those actions.
Great. Anthony, you know, in the current situation everywhere around the world, people are in lockdown position, students are at their homes, at their living positions. They are at their hostels. They cannot go in person to the campuses. Keeping the situation in mind, what system of study has been developed or introduced by your university to cope the loss of in-person studying at the campuses? I'm sure that the university has taken some solid steps for students' education.
Fantastic question. And actually today I was talking to one of the science instructors at Fraser International College, and what they had been doing before the COVID-19 outbreak was that they would email students small videos. And then when students came into their class, they would discuss them and really apply that knowledge in different projects. Now, as we've seen, Corona has shut down our campuses, and we're making sure that all students are maintaining a safe distance. that same instructor has continued to provide those videos. But then when we look at the greater work that they're doing, they're meeting up on Zoom platforms and using the breakout options to facilitate those small class discussions and really making sure that students are still able to connect one-to-one with the instructors.
Mr. Anthony, tell us something about, the current student, as you have mentioned. Fraser International College has taken a lot of different steps to make them equipped with their learning system. Like as you have said, the students are continuously in contact with the instructors, the teachers who are teaching them, providing them all kinds of facilities virtually that could really help the students' studies. But if I ask about the students who are really interested to go to your campus in future, the prospective students, what you have to say about them, because especially from Pakistan, they are interested to study there in Canada. So what kind of information you would provide them? Is this a right time to apply for Fraser International College from Pakistan, or your admission cycle has been disturbed? And what are the updates on this? Because students want to know, because they don't know the exact situation, that either they must be applying at the moment or not.
Fantastic question. And when we look at that, COVID-19 has really made the world very complex for us. Now, one thing that is happening is that every single student who is reaching out to Fraser International College is being greeted with open arms and with as much information as we can provide. If you visit our website, you will find a continuous stream of FAQs about the situation and what we're doing to try and mitigate it. Now, inshallah, COVID-19 moves on and it doesn't affect September intake, and hopefully things go smoothly. Now, I would never want a student looking for September intake to miss out on that opportunity. So I would always encourage students to apply now. It is a free application with Fraser International College, and in that way we can start to get that process moving and make sure that student isn't missing any opportunities.
That's good. What I came to understand from your discussion, that the admission cycle has not been disturbed. You guys are there to help you out, the students who are really looking to study in coming September intake. So options are there, and you encourage and recommend students, once they have made their plan to study for Canada, they must not be, they should be stick to it, and they must be applying to the university, to your campus, or if somebody wants to go to other university there in Canada. So technically and practically admission cycle has not been disturbed yet.
Exactly. So for Fraser International College, we're located on Simon Fraser University's campus, and we have decided that regardless of what happens, we are going to continue as much as possible supporting our students. And that means students who are already on the campus, but it also means, as you say, students who are still in Pakistan, students who are still around the world trying to understand what their opportunities are in that September, in the future. And really my role right now is to greet those students, to make sure that they have the information to go forward confidently. So our admission cycle has not been compromised. It is still processing applications.
That's great. Anthony, if I ask about what are the different programs option for Pakistani students, or especially the students who are interested to apply from rest of the world, so what are the different programs options at your campus, and what do you think, keeping in view the current situation, the best program option for Pakistani students, please?
Fantastic question. This is actually one of my favorite ones because I love talking to students about what they're interested in and also what the strengths of the programs that are offered at FIC. Now, FIC is located on the campus of Simon Fraser University, and when we talk about Simon Fraser University, there is over 150 unique programs.
Great.
We'll find everything from mechatronics, engineering, computing sciences, those arts and social sciences, and of course business. But there is a lot going on, and whatever a student is looking for, I promise they can find it at Simon Fraser University.
That's fantastic. So means, as you have mentioned, more than 150 different programs, so wide variety of the program is available there at your campus, and students can enjoy the program of their choice and the program of their aptitude while they want to proceed ahead for Fraser International College in Canada. Anthony, tell us something about admission requirement for the students who want to proceed their further career for undergraduate programs. So what is the eligibility criteria to apply for undergraduate program or even the foundation program, please?
Yeah, so that is a perfect question to start off with. And when we look at a student who has completed their A-levels, they would be able to come in and do their first year of university at Fraser International College, progress on to Simon Fraser University. And for us at FIC, we would need 2 A-level grades in academic subjects, and both of them should be C's or above, which is quite amazing given that SFU is regarded as one of the best universities in Canada and realistically requires much higher academic requirements. Now, if we look at a foundation program, that one we would have, and they would be required O-level grades, 4 C's, again in academic subjects.
Okay. One thing that Pakistani students are much concerned about, that what about the English proficiency assessment at your campus? Is this compulsory, or you think that due to the situation a waiver, or you can say the relaxation with respect to English proficiency like IELTS, TOEFL has been given by the university to the students?
Fantastic. This current context is making things very challenging. But I think with FIC, every time we are greeted with a challenge, we work hard to overcome that challenge. And we expect that from our partners, from our students, from everyone. Now, with students applying into FIC, you are correct. It is difficult to go and do IELTS requirements, but with FIC, we accept O-level English grades. We also can accept something like a Duolingo test. And Duolingo is quite nice because students can actually do it on their cell phone at the convenience of their home. So that is another great option that we've seen, we've brought on board, and that we're helping our students with.
All right, that's great. As that you have mentioned, if somebody, we can understand the IELTS center everywhere around the globes are closed. So the students cannot go to appear for the IELTS test or the TOEFL one. So as you have mentioned, that university is accepting the A-level students English subject alongside the lingo test that you have mentioned, that students can do it while sitting at their home. That's a great option, that they must not undergo themselves for the IELTS or TOEFL something there. So this is a great news for the students. If I ask about the fee and funding for specifically for 1-year program there in Canada, so roughly tell us something about how much will it cost to the students who is interested to study there at Fraser International College in Canada?
Perfect question. And it's one that really has to always be addressed. At Fraser International College, our programs lead into Simon Fraser University. So one of the top 10 universities in Canada. It is located in Vancouver, which is one of the 3rd most livable cities in the world. SFU has one of the largest and oldest co-op programs in North America. So there's so much to talk about. But when we take all of those strong points and then look at the fees, sometimes there's a mismatch, because there's so much positive, and then the fees are actually quite low. They're only around $30,000 Canadian per year.
Great. So, as you have mentioned about the fee as well, tell us something about, because, you know, a lot of different students, the sharp minds, you will find it here in Pakistan and even from the rest of the world. So, what about the scholarship options for them? I'm sure the encouraging scholarship was being offered by your university, keeping in view the economic crisis for the whole world here. So, what are scholarship options for Pakistani students, please?
Great question. And when we talk about scholarships, I think every single student's ears just automatically peak up and want to hear more and more. Now, at FIC, we have 2 amazing scholarships which happen every single semester. So at the end of a semester, the top 2 students are rewarded by having their next semester's academic fees completely paid for at Fraser International College.
Great.
That means a savings of around $10,000.
Okay. So means these scholarships are provided to the students in every semester that they have to undergo themselves for.
Exactly. Yep. So these are going to be competitive scholarships. They will happen at the end of the semester, but then also once a student transfers into Simon Fraser University, you're going to find so many scholarships, whether those are merit-based, just looking at grades, or looking at what a student is doing outside of the classroom. Maybe they're volunteering, maybe they're in student leadership, but what is it that makes them interesting?
All right. Anthony, what about where this exactly your institution is situated, and keeping in view the location of the institution, what different hands-on practice opportunities for the students who are currently enrolled, or who wish, the prospective students who are interested to come to your campus in future, they just want to know the working opportunities during their studies, who want to take hands-on experience while studying over there.
Perfect. Yes. So Fraser International College is located in Vancouver, and it is one of the most livable cities in the world. It's quite gorgeous. And if you think of a combination of Islamabad with those mountains surrounding it, but also with Karachi, with that ocean, that's Vancouver. Smashed together, we have the ocean and those mountains. I love it. Now, I'm quite biased because I also grew up here, but it is a wonderful city. And when we start to look at job opportunities and industries that are represented within Vancouver, automatically, one of my favorite facts is that we have the largest operating port in Western North America. That means import-export businesses are massive. But it also means that the finance hub, because Vancouver is the largest city in Western Canada, has really expanded. So automatically, students in business have great opportunities, but more so, students in computing sciences, engineering, have perfect opportunities to really launch into their sectors.
That's great. That's fantastic. Anthony, moving ahead, what do you see? I mean, what do you have to foresee for coming time? You know, the situation is the worst everywhere in the world, but keeping the situation in mind, in future, if somebody applied to Canada, you think that the visa ratio will definitely get increased for Canada, or will it impact the visa ratio here from Pakistan as well?
Inshallah, I wish, you know, that I knew every single answer and exactly what the world would hold for us in 6 months. Now, unfortunately, I don't have that crystal ball that can tell me everything that's going to happen. But looking back at the history of Canada, whether it's our current Prime Minister, that's Justin Trudeau, or the one that came before him, Stephen Harper, both of them had a strong desire to support international students.
That's great.
And we'll find it at the top with the prime ministers, but then it filters down into every layer of the government and society. So my wish and my hope is that we continue on the path that Canada has set out and supporting both international students, but really anyone who is looking to move into Canada.
That's great. Anthony, in the end, if you have any message for Pakistani students you want to give at the current, keeping in view the current situation, please say something about your wording for Pakistani students, your message for Pakistani students, please.
Thank you. I think at this point I would like to say shukriya. I have visited Pakistan so many times, and each time I have always been met with support. I have been met with hospitality. I have been met with wonderful food and fantastic people. And it is always such a joy to visit Pakistan. And I can tell you, regardless of this current situation, regardless of what comes next, I am going to keep Pakistan in my heart and keep supporting you, the students who are interested in coming to Canada. And if that means meeting you and getting that opportunity to speak with you directly in person and talking to your parents or through a webinar, I am excited. I am excited to provide that information that is going to help you make the best decision for your life.
Anthony, thank you very much that you have given us a time today to just discuss on study options there in Canada, and especially at Fraser International College. We are thankful again. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Shakeel.
जी नाज़रीन, आपने प्रोग्राम देखा जिसमें एंथनी का कहना था कि कनाडा एज अ डेस्टिनेशन एक बहुत वेलकमिंग डेस्टिनेशन है, नॉट ओनली स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम पाकिस्तान बल्कि पूरी दुनिया के तालिब इल्मों के लिए एक इंतहाई वेलकमिंग डेस्टिनेशन समझी जाती है। इसके साथ साथ उनका कहना था कि एडमिशन साइकिल, एडमिशन प्रोसेस अपनी रूटीन के मुताबिक चल रहा है, और स्टूडेंट्स को एडवाइस किया कि जो उनके जो प्लान्स हैं स्टडी इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया, दे मस्ट कंटिन्यू विद दैट। अपना और अपनी फैमिली का ख्याल रखिए। कल हाजिर होंगे एक नए एक्सपर्ट एडवाइस के साथ, तब तक के लिए इजाज़त दीजिए। अल्लाह।